The land of Numbra is a place of its own, a land where the sun never rises, a land of eternal night. For hundreds of years, we have been ignored by the rest of the world, left to slumber alone in the shadows. Our homeland is harsh and unforgiving. Only the strongest survive, while the weak get crushed. Even so, that didn't stop the Kamloops, a small and pitiful nation, from migrating here. Weary of the everlasting wars waged by their neighboring nations, the Kamloops left everything behind. Everything but a foolish hope for better days. On their quest for peace and tranquility, they sought shelter in perilous Numbra. There they would find haven in the perpetual darkness that shrouded their new home. Or so they thought, for a new threat now loomed. One that could not only engulf the Kamloops, but also plunge all of Numbra into oblivion. What do we have here? Who is this young fellow? Let's watch from afar. It's as if the fireflies are trying to lead him somewhere. I wonder where. Oh, this child seems troublesome. I would sooner be away from him. A memory shard reciting Paddlewood's journey, the man who discovered Numbra centuries ago. Something vile has happened here. I've never seen such crystals in... Run, run, run! What is that thing? It seems to react to the boy's presence. Wait, what's happening? He's back? And here I thought I was rid of him. Go down there. Never mind. I knew this fool would drag me into this. I never imagined that, in my ripe old age, I would leave my exile to become once again involved in the affairs of Numbra. I, Strix, the last night owl, saving a foolish child? Ha! The boy claimed to have no recollection of his past, or how he got here. He couldn't even remember his name. I had no choice but to take him to the nearest village, hoping that would be the end of it. Let's get going. These old bones can't carry you all the way. How odd. The village looks deserted. I remember this place being occupied by the Kamloops. Does this place ring a bell, boy? Are my eyes deceiving me? Or is this poor fellow trapped inside that crystal? There's not much we can do for him now. What a mess! The way is blocked. Since you seem to have lost your tongue, I might as well give you a history lesson. The Kamloops worship 5 divinities called celestial gods. Obviously, they didn't seem to be much of use here. Over here. This is Pyrrhus, Dame Nature. She is one of the 5 divinities I was telling you about. Too kind and gentle for my taste. Looks like you're trapped on... Ah! You reckless fool! Another villager. He vanished. This is Orlog, the Timeless One, although I fear he has grown senile over the years. This is Shin, the wrath of the elements, always parading around with his twin blades. Much ado about nothing. Oh. This is Luxana. What are you doing? This book of yours seems to have a special connection with Luxana. I fear the worst for our land. Seeking out Luxana is probably our best course of action. Surely she knows what's going on. What had become of the once quiet and sleepy Numbra? The entire landscape was littered with ominous crystals, and a whole village had gone missing. As we headed to the Lost Lagoon, I couldn't help but wonder, did I imagine it? Or did the boy truly seem to recognize Luxana's statue? Maybe finding her would be the key to unlocking both his past and the truth about what was happening to Numbra. The lagoon lies just ahead, sitting atop the highest summit in Numbra, the only place in the entire land where the light can pierce the darkness. Quite the sight, isn't it? Well, the fish market is also deserted. Better get on that. Why are you so hell-bent on breaking things? I'm off to scout the area for a while. Please try not to do anything stupid. Outstanding! I leave you 5 minutes and you managed to sink your own boat. To make things worse, I couldn't find Luxana or Animus. This is why I've given up on people a long time ago. You can't count on anyone but yourself. This is the entrance to Animus's lair. If he's in there, we might finally get some answers on what's happening around here. Hey, what's going on? Everyone is trapped inside these cells. Hurry, boy! When the villagers came to him cheering, a part of his memories returned. "Nox," they chanted. Imagine my surprise when I realized this fool was none other than one of the 5 celestial gods. My deepest fear was confirmed by Pyrrhus, the goddess of nature. The crystals were indeed the source of the evil vibe I felt all over Numbra. When they started to appear across the land, the Kamloops desperately summoned the 5 celestial gods. Amidst the chaos, Nox's altar was severely damaged. That was why he found himself lost in the wilderness without a hint of who he was or where he came from. From the beginning, Pyrrhus had used the fireflies to guide us here. Thinking back, they did lead us to Nox's artifact, the Shadow Core, and ultimately to Animus's lair. Unfortunately, 3 divinities were still missing: Shin, Orlog, and Luxana. While Pyrrhus took care of things here, it was our duty to search for them. Our next stop, the marshlands of sorrows. The stench of this place would put a rotting carcass to shame. Whew. Stay on your guard, boy. The marshlands of sorrows are home to many foul creatures. Behold, the Sentinel of Hope. Originally built to lead the Kamloops across the deepest part of the swamp, it still stands today as a testament to their ingenuity. You know what worries me most? It seems like no place was left untouched by these accursed crystals. Such disgusting creatures. Yuck. The gate is open. Luxana and the other divinities must be nearby. Following this new lead, the boy and I ventured into a secluded part of the bog. He wanted answers as to what was happening to our homeland. And, most importantly, he was determined to find his friends. As for myself, I was more worried about what could be lurking in these parts of Numbra. Let's get moving. I've had enough of this blasted swamp. Devourers? I'm surprised any of them survived after the Black Swarm's demise. I'd destroy their nests myself if I weren't so old. Like in the good old days. Look at the horizon. There are people marching by. Follow me. I know a secret passage that will let us sneak... Ooh, where is all that slime coming from? You know what? I'll wait for you on the other side. took you long enough. These are the soldiers we saw earlier. It looks like a huge battle just took place. This bodes ill for your comrades. There is only one place in this barren wasteland where the enemy could have taken the celestial gods. There are ruins not far from here, the Temple of Mictlan. However, nothing good has ever been known to come out of that place. Only fools like us would dare trespass into the Temple of Mictlan. This cursed temple was a remnant of the past. The rumors said that the black veil over Numbra was originally cast from this location 1,000 years ago. The god Mictlan consumed everything to create the eternal night, legend said. We were bound to find out if they held any truth. Supposedly, these statues were built to honor Mictlan's most devoted followers. What an unsettling sight. This entire temple is a death trap. I know I'm asking for a lot, but try to keep your recklessness in check. The path splits in two. I'll trust your gut on this one, boy. Still no trace of the other divinities. What could possibly have happened to them? who knows what awaits us inside these cursed ruins? Oh, I'm much too old for this insanity. Although every inch of me wants to get out of here, turning back is no longer an option at this point. Shin and Orlog. Let's get them out and leave this place at once. Once again, the boy prevailed against all odds. As they said, Nox the Shadow Trickster had a trick for every star in the sky. At last, the dreadful Mictlan was put to rest. We learned quite a lot about the recent events, thanks to Shin and Orlog. The signs pointed to a full-scale invasion. The pair had eventually been captured as their sacred artifacts were lost in the wild. Back when the Kamloops left their homeland for Numbra, only one nation possessed such technology: Eternium, the strongest of all nations. Freed at last, Shin and Orlog wanted to find out why Eternium chased the Kamloops all the way into Numbra's darkness. Unfortunately, there was still no trace of Luxana. I could see that the news saddened the boy. She was his closest friend, after all. But now was not the time to sulk. The boy and I were to deliver a warning to Sylvian, the Kamloops' capital. It was also possible that Luxana had escaped the invaders and was there as well. After so many years, the prospect of visiting the exotic Viper's forest again felt strange. I hadn't been there since the Order of the Night Owls disbanded. The ghost fields. Memories that will forever haunt me. The night owl's last stand. For centuries, the night owls had watched over them. I would have proudly given my life to my former pupil was out. She became a fearsome fighter. No one could match her skills. Ravoria always prided herself on the fact that her traps could be disarmed by no one else. She designed each and every one lying around here. Despite her feats, she wasn't much liked within the Order. She was perceived as an outsider. She was never one of us. On that day, the day of the last stand, she saved Numbra, but doomed us all at the same time. Eager to finally prove her worth, Ravoria elaborated a plan of her own. She leaked our meeting point to the enemy and left her post during the night. With most of the swarm coming our way, Ravoria intended to infiltrate the Black Queen's lair, to take her down, and finally put an end to this bloodshed. We were caught completely off guard. I can still hear the loud buzzing coming from the east. It was a massacre. My comrades fell one after the other. So outnumbered were we by the swarm. When I had lost all hope, an agonizing screech pierced the sky. A scream carried on the Black Queen's last breath. Ravoria had sneaked up on her and delivered a fatal blow while her army was busy slaughtering us. When the queen perished, the swarm turned into mindless beasts. The vile insects immediately fled back to their lair. I knew Ravoria had something to do with this, so I followed them to see for myself. When I arrived, the swarm, in its frenzied state, had destroyed itself. And Ravoria, well, she had paid the price with her life. I carried her back to the Order. I couldn't leave her in a place like that. When I came back, I was greeted with scorn and disdain. The Order branded Ravoria a traitor and an enemy. How could Ravoria decide to throw away so many lives by revealing our location to the enemy, they asked. I had no answer. I was overwhelmed by grief and shame. I exiled myself to a life of solitude. Rumors were that the Order, or what was left of it, disbanded not long after that. I haven't heard from any member of the Order since that day. I am the last Night Owl, a title that will mock me until my death. And so, here I am, old and feeble, stuck with you on this dangerous adventure. I knew our journey to Sylvian would be a perilous undertaking, as if the countless dangers of the Viperous Forest weren't trouble enough. We also had to face Ravoria's old traps hidden in the wild. It might have been my destiny all along to come back here and face her one last time. She was as stubborn as she was clever, that one. You remind me of her in many ways. When I first met you, I thought you were nothing more than a mindless fool. But somehow, you always managed to pull through. I may never forgive myself for what happened to Ravoria. But know one thing, boy. I will not let you down. I can't believe this. Ravoria. They built a shrine in your honor. I can finally be at peace now that her legacy is saved. After so many years, I felt as if a huge weight had been taken off my shoulders, knowing that my owl brothers, in the end, had understood that Ravoria had made all those sacrifices to protect Numbra, put my mind at rest. The mistakes of my past would no longer plague me. Thankfully, the boy and I were unharmed by Ravoria's forgotten traps. The road to Sylvian was still long and treacherous, but at long last we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The Viperous Forest, home of the wild Eternium crystals, this close to Sylvian? This is a bad omen. On a brighter note, Luxana might be in the capital, protecting the Kamloops as we speak. These are Shin's twin blades. How did they even get here? Oh boy, not again. Can we resume our journey now? In case you forgot, we have a job to finish. Look ahead. See these runes? They indicate the way to Sylvian. We should arrive shortly. After a long trip, it was a relief to finally see the Kamloops runes. I could barely keep up with the boy as he dashed through the woods. I knew what was on his mind, the safety of his people, and of his dearest friend, Luxana.